Hello, and thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Kyle Rogers.
And I'm Laura Shale. SHIP students are getting busy after spring break.
It's been a busy week indeed. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett unveiled his proposed budget last week. If it passes, there will be major cuts. Welfare programs, school districts, and others would lose significant funding. Nearly $850 million would be cut under Corbett's proposal. Tonight's top story, how those budget cuts could hit state universities and what this means for you.
If you look beyond the stairs and statues at the Harrisburg State Capitol building, you'll see phrases carved into benches like this one. Freedom can exist only in the society of knowledge. Providing that knowledge could become challenging if the governor's budget proposal passes.
It's the kind of scenarios we don't want to talk about.
Nearly $500 million would vanish from public institutions across Pennsylvania. At Shippensburg University, that means nearly 1/3 of budget funds would disappear.
Under Governor Corbett's budget proposal, about 50% of funding would be taken away from education, including state schools like Shippensburg, and that could ultimately mean tuition increases and layoffs.
Hello, President Rood's office. May I help you?
Shippensburg University President Dr. William Rood was expecting a 20% cut in funding to state schools.
When you go to 50%, unfortunately, you're talking about people.
Staff could face furloughs or layoffs. Nearly 70% of Shippensburg's operating budget is geared towards personnel. Students could see a 10 to 20% tuition increase, larger classes, and more classes offered online.
The other thing is then less offering. So you get down to where there used to be 2 sections of that class offered. Now there's only 1 section of that class offered.
But nothing is set in stone yet.
Local lawmakers say they were surprised by Governor Corbett's proposed budget, saying that 50% of education funding slashed is too big and that it won't pass.
You're going to ask the taxpayers for $338 million. And I don't care if it's Penn State or Shippensburg University. If you're going to use taxpayers' money, you damn well better be telling us what you're going to spend it on.
Representative Dan Mal of Adams County said the proposed education cut should not start at 50% right away. Rob Kaufman is Shippensburg State Representative.
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's going to stand. I believe that I'm not alone.
Both Republican lawmakers say that funding should be cut from other places, such as welfare, before taking major cuts from education. They both stress the fact that this is a proposal, not the final deal.
Many of us expected some trimming. Many of us have been preaching, everybody's got to share in the pain, be expecting some cuts.
There's a reason why they call it a budget proposal and not final draft, because this will all be haggled back and forth.
But Shippensburg University's president said he's ready to handle what comes next out of Harrisburg.
I just hope that the state, the Commonwealth, the governor, the legislature will give us options that are good alternatives such that we might need to do things differently as we go forward. But we're in for the long haul. Absolutely.
President Rood will host 3 town hall meetings about the budget proposal. One will be tomorrow at 3 in the Grove Forum. 2 more will be next Thursday, March 24th at 8 and 10 in the morning. President Rood wants to hear about your ideas and suggestions at these meetings.
Students on campus are taking action to make their opinions heard about the budget proposal. Sophomore Jimmy Thren is spearheading the campaign to get students involved. He is working hard to raise awareness and get students from SHIP educated on the issues. He's hoping to organize a trip to Harrisburg to peacefully protest the budget.
Each other, talk to your faculty, look on Facebook. That's where our big thing is. We have group pages, we have an event page just for the protest. The date is the only thing we're cloudy about right now, but this is going to happen. We're aiming for 1,000 students.
With all of this education talk, you may have a lot of questions about what this proposed budget means for you, and you may have some questions about education as an issue in general. A local TV station will host a special edition news program focusing on education at the Lure Center next Wednesday. I caught up with CBS 21 anchor Rob Hanrahan to see what the show will cover.
What we want to do with our show at Shippensburg is involve the audience, answer some questions, have some people on who can answer these questions. Your President Rood is going to be with us to talk about things at Shippensburg and ways to finance, ways to get into school, but we're going to talk about the state of education in Pennsylvania. We're going to talk about school performance.
Had a good time with the gang up at CBS 21. Now, tickets are free. Rob says to come out with any questions you have about education. Experts will be on hand to talk about the issues. Face the State with Rob Hanrahan will air on Sunday morning, March 27th at 11 on CBS 21. And for the latest on the budget proposal and students and faculty reactions, stay with SUTV News. Next week, SUTV News will have team coverage from Harrisburg. Laura and I will be traveling to the state capitol alongside our colleagues to cover this very important story. As well, follow us online at facebook.com/SUTV News and on Twitter at SUTV News.
Kiss me, I'm the designated driver. In honor of St. Patrick's Day, SHIP's Women's Center and the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life want to make sure everyone gets home safe. You or a friend can get a designated driver pin before you go out tonight, and the DD will get free soft drinks. Shipwreck, Newts, and University Grill are offering soda, iced tea, coffee, and water for the drivers. Pick up a pin at the Women's Center in Horton Hall, the Cub Information Desk, Shipwreck, or the Student Life Center in McLean. Enjoy the holiday responsibly.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
Yeah.
Crises across the world are affecting the Shippensburg community. Find out more when we come back.
Well, before we go, take a look at what's coming up next in next week's Slate.
Hi, I'm Krista Llewellyn, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Slate. This week we have a story on the budget cuts, the new scheduling system, a Relay for Life article, and our weekly True Life. We also have a lot more coming up, so check out this week's edition of the Slate, and also check out the new Slate coming out April 5th.
Many of us have been glued to the TV like CNN. Those scenes from Japan seem like they're straight out of a movie. A massive earthquake and catastrophic tsunami destroyed the lives of so many people, and one local man was there.
Oh, I was frightened. Yeah, very scared.
20-year-old Eric Jacobs of Chambersburg was studying in Tokyo when the 9.0 earthquake shattered Japan.
And the chair started to rumble, and then all of a sudden it built up tremendously and the building started to shake.
Take a look at this video Eric recorded. He was in the computer lab at Temple University's Japan campus.
You could hear the blinds smashing into the windows, and then the computer monitor started to rattle and shake back and forth. And then it stayed like that for a while, and then gradually it calmed down to nothing.
Eric was okay. The building he was in was not damaged.
After the earthquake, that I'm extremely lucky, but a lot of people have it a lot worse off.
Eric used the power of social networking like Facebook and Twitter to get the word out.
My philosophy around that was get out as much information as I could so people would know that I was all right, and that people who weren't there could try and figure out what was happening on the ground.
It wasn't until one of Japan's nuclear power plants faced a scare of a meltdown. That's when Eric said he wanted to come back home to the States.
And that the nuclear problem was getting worse, that I figured it would be time to get out just to make sure that I was safe.
Eric hopes people will realize the impact these catastrophes had on Japan.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone knows how dire the situation still is in Japan, and that I'm extremely lucky to be unharmed, and being back here in the U.S., it's great. I'm happy to be back, but the situation isn't getting any better in Japan, and that everyone's thoughts should be with those who are still there.
And Eric is home for good now. He hopes to go back to Japan someday, and he says he plans to finish his semester online.
This Friday, students will dance for a good cause. Bridge for Kids and Pi Sigma Pi are hosting SHIP's first dance-a-thon from 7 to 12 in Henderson Gym. Donations will go to the Shippensburg chapter of Relay for Life. For Amber and Athanathi of Pi Sigma Pi, the dance-a-thon has a special meaning.
Just this year, one of my best friends was diagnosed with cancer, so I want to do everything that I possibly can to help. He's an amazing person, and he's fighting through it, so I think that we should do, even if hasn't affected us, you never know what can happen. So I think it's important for everyone. And I think it's really good for us as a campus to do more to raise money for cancer, so I think it's a very good cause.
To see if you have what it takes to be the last person dancing, register at the door or with Julie Pineski at JP0405 at ship.edu. Long before the earthquake in Japan, the quake had faded from the headlines, but the suffering has not in Haiti. Shippensburg students have not forgotten and are doing their part to help the Haitian people, and they may strike a chord with you.
Shippensburg University Madrigals are in tune, in pitch and with the Hearts for Haiti campaign. Shippensburg professor Dr. Blaine Shover is directing them to participate in the Voices of Praise concert, which will raise money for the Center of Hope School in Haiti. A big mission for a small-town woman who watched the misery fade from our view.
It just kind of faded from the headlines, faded from the newspaper, went from the first page to the third to the last page, but it didn't fade from my heart. It was supposed to engage the community, all levels of the community, the faith communities, businesses, friends, neighbors. We were all to come together with a cause that was bigger than any one of us could actually accomplish.
Madrigal singer and sophomore Alexa Diamond understands the importance of an event like this and knows the songs make a difference, like her favorite, Hold On.
It's just a really good spiritual to kind of sing, and it's more about like keeping the faith and kind of like being strong through everything.
The Madrigals won't take the stage alone. Across town from campus, a collective community choir of almost 100 volunteers from 18 local churches are lending their voices to the cause. The choir is accompanied by a live orchestra also made up of community volunteers. The director, Don Dickinson, chose and organized the music with a specific theme in mind.
Collectively, when we put our talents and our resources and our ideas and our hearts together, it's kind of miraculous.
A miracle spun together when Jan Hughes visited Haiti in January and was touched by the stories of the school and its more than 500 students.
The really awesome thing about this school is that it houses the children in the morning, and then in the afternoon the Center of Hope will be a trade center. For us as an educational town to then give Haiti the very best of our gifts, we envision a partnership well into the years.
The event will culminate this Saturday at the Voices of Praise concert beginning at 7 p.m. at the Shippensburg Senior High School. It will be used as a kickoff event for a Michael W. Smith concert coming up on April 30th, and the Voices of Praise will include music from the University Madrigals, the high school Sharps, a local praise band, and more. All of the proceeds will go to finishing the Center of Hope School in Haiti. If you're interested in donating to the cause or seeing more of their events, like the 5K run that will be held here on campus, check out their website at www.shipsheartforhaiti.com. Though the fun of spring break is over, that doesn't mean that there isn't anything fun happening on campus.
Aaliyah Smith will fill you in on what's coming up. Hey, Aaliyah.
Unfortunately, spring break is over and it's time to get back into the books. If you're looking for something to do once studying is over, check out the new movies that will be playing in the Cub. Starting March 27th, the Activities Program Board will be showing Little Fockers, No Strings Attached, Tron, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. APB is also hosting Dave and Ethan, College Dating Coaches, on Wednesday, March 30th at 9 p.m. in the Tuscarora Room. Maybe they'll have some tips for me when it comes to dating. That's all for this week's entertainment. I'm Aaliyah Smith.
All right, thank you, Aaliyah. Still to come on SUTV News, find out how much Up Till Dawn raised for St. Jude's Hospital.
And today, students are enjoying spending some time outside in the nice weather. Rachel Flores is here with your weekend forecast. Don't go away.
So nice today.
It is.